Are you ready to grow? The Plant Movement with Willie Rodriguez of A's Ornamental Nursery in sunny South Florida is the podcast for those in the nursery business. Garden centers, landscapers, power growers, and plant enthusiasts. Willie is a passionate leader in the plant movement and has helped others grow their business into multi-million-dollar companies. This show will save you time, money, and headaches through top-notch education and by connecting you to experts in the industry. Let's grow. Here's your host, Willie Rodriguez.
What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Plant Movement Podcast. I'm your host, Willie Rodriguez, and today we have a special guest. We have Sonia with Sunny Bloom. What's up,
guys?
Sonia?
Hey, what's up? How are you?
Everything good.
Good.
They came down from St. Cloud, so how far was the drive?
It was about 3.5 hours.
3.5 hours. Yeah. They're sitting in the studio, and that was something big that you guys did. They have children. Her husband's over here behind the camera, and it's exciting. It's exciting that we met on social media, and now you're here. What Sonia does is she gathers up rare, cool interior plants, and she sells them online. She has a storefront in St. Cloud, and she also goes live on Mondays, and she ships in boxes. And we're gonna get into a bunch of things today, but that's basically a run through of what she does. So today we're going to pick her brain and we're going to see how everything goes today.
Let's do it. I'm excited.
So what intrigued me so much about you was just your knowledge and your infatuation with plants. And I want to dig into that. I want to know how you got and acquired the amount of knowledge that you have in plants, because that's not something normal. That's not normal. We're a different breed out here. And that's what makes us special. Dealing with live plants and everything. How did you acquire the knowledge that you've acquired to do what you do?
Self-taught.
Self-taught.
All self-taught. So it really just started because I would go and try to buy these plants and I didn't really know what I was even looking at.
How old were you?
This was like 2021. So
you've only been doing this for a year, 2 years?
We're working on our second year. Yes.
Wow. So the infatuation with plants is recent.
It's so recent. So it really started 2020. I had just got pregnant. It was COVID. I had just had my baby. I was home a lot. I didn't know what to do with myself. I was kind of going stir crazy. And my husband actually took me to Home Depot to buy some plants. It was cactus and succulents. I'm like, I'll start there. Those have to be easy to take care of. Killed every single one of them.
Oh, wow.
So it kind of started from there. And I'm like, I have to try to keep something alive. I just really wanted greenery. So it kind of started with the smaller, simple things. And then from there, it just kind of built. And I had a really hard time sleeping at night when my baby was really little. Okay. So I would just stay up.
You never got to sleep.
I guess a little bit of both, yeah. But I would just kind of sit there and just look up and research as much as I possibly could on plants and growers and just all of that.
So this has been 2 years of you actually being involved and your mind takes you there.
Yes,
so you have
actively pursuing it.
Yeah, you have a second free and you want to dive into learning about plants.
Right.
That's so cool, because I would never think that. I would think that when I watch let's say your lives or any of the stuff that you've posted, I would think that you've known, you've been in the industry, you previously worked somewhere, or you have a background of 5 years, 8 years, because the knowledge you have, people don't acquire that normally, and it normally takes a long time for people to learn it. Obviously, let's say they don't have that passion that you have. And for you to tell me sitting here, that shocked me. Yeah. 2 years only and self-taught, not knowing anything about plants.
I guess you can say I got obsessive.
Yeah,
Very. But I mean, I have to be.
Yeah, you have to. Anything, it shows the passion. It shows that that you're really in it, and that you love it, and that's the difference. Some people, they start doing something and let's say they don't love it, and they do it because they have to. You do it because you want to.
It's fun.
And it really shows.
Love it.
That's crazy. 2 years. So tell me about that. So now, fast forward, you have the plants at your house, your baby's there, keeping you up all night, you're acquiring knowledge, your husband does landscaping.
Yes.
So you have at least he has that he knows something about plants. And then now, what took you to that place in your mind that was like, you know what, honey, we can open a store?
Oh,
tell me about that.
So
you started acquiring plants at the house, filling the house up with plants. After the succulents.
We actually started a vegetable garden.
In the backyard.
And that's what started it. Yeah. And that was his vegetable garden. I like the succulents, the cactuses, the little things. And then he was getting really into the veggies. So I started harvesting them.
Okay.
We live 3 blocks up from our store. So we are on the same street as our store, very close.
Okay.
So we saw this place come up for rent. We've lived in the area for over 10 years. So we saw this place come up for rent and we're like, let's try it out. And we didn't know what to do with it at first. He obviously does landscaping. He's been in it for over 10 years. His family has experience in it too. So I was like, let's do something that we know we can maybe excel with and have knowledge on already. So we started the plant store. Initially, we wanted to do landscape foliage and just focus on that to kind of sustain his landscape for his designs. And then we started realizing that when people would come in, they really wanted interior plants. They wanted the indoor foliage and things like that. And then that just helped spark it in me to be like, okay, people are interested in this area and there's no other plant store. We were the first plant store in St. Cloud.
Wow.
So it kind of exposed a lot of people to the new rare things that I'm bringing in. And that's kind of how it all started.
That's crazy. So you didn't start selling anything prior to opening a store?
No.
So the store wasn't even set up for what it is today. It was the initiative was to bring in landscape stuff to sell to people like your husband.
Exactly. And we were going to work all of the plants out front. And then the inside of the store, when we got it, it was just a blank white canvas. Shelving, lights, everything to keep plants alive, we have done ourselves.
Wow.
It's been a very big learning process, I would say.
How many square feet is the store?
Oh, maybe like 1,000.
Okay.
About 1,000. And then we've also extended into the back now. So we're growing.
That's wild. So that's crazy. Congrats.
Thank you.
So you guys started bringing in these funky things that what you would search up online. Things that caught your interest is pretty much
just
what you have
my
there.
Interest. Yeah, I would walk by in the nursery and I would take a look at the plants. And if it just caught my attention, it was something that I thought was different, I never really seen, I wanted it in my store. And people just appreciate that in St. Cloud. They don't see it at your average garden center. So
of course.
I think they take note of that.
Well, it's you. It's you at the end of the day. Like I said, the passion was really what makes a difference. It does.
I try.
That's what makes the difference. For real. Don't cry.
I try.
Eddie, get her a tissue. That's what really makes a difference. And that's what you can see. You know, the fact that you are bringing in plants that you like, that catch your interest. And also, you know what's popular now. You've been doing it for a couple of years. So you have insight in something that you might not be infatuated with, but you're like, you know what, let me bring in 10 or 20 of them because I know that this is a popular item.
Hot, yeah.
And then now that you sell, like, just think about the knowledge you've acquired now that you've done that. Like, you going live.
Yeah.
What made you want to go live? Let's start there and then I'll dive into that.
I started watching other lives.
Okay.
And I was just intrigued with how they were doing it. You know, how you were able to access more than just what's local around you. It was very interesting to me. And our area where our store is right now is under construction. So we don't get as much foot traffic.
Okay.
So it was kind of like, I either sit here and wait for that foot traffic to come in, or I do something about it so that the store can succeed, because I want it for the longevity. I don't want it to be short term. So that's kind of what the only other route that I felt was possible, was doing something like a live to be able to reach different clients all throughout the States.
Yeah. And you guys go live when?
Every Monday at 8:30, always.
8:30 p.m.
8:30 p.m.
Eastern Standard Time for you guys that are in different time zones.
Instagram and Facebook. Yeah, we do both.
Oh, but it's at the same time.
Same time.
It's at the same time.
Yeah.
And so people can basically go on there. Explain to me how that works.
So live sales are fun because you go on there, I'll bring out the plant, I'll give you a little background on it, and I'll open a bid on it. So let's say we're starting with like an alocasia. I'll go ahead and be like, this alocasia I'll start today for $5 open bid. And then people can come in and increase the bids in $5 bid increments or however much. Once I feel like there's a cap off, I'll go ahead and set the timer, and then we'll give the plant to the person that won it.
Yeah, because I've watched a bunch of them, maybe like 6 or 7 of them, and it's like that. It's fast paced. All right, 5, 4, 3, bye. All right, you won. Congrats. Okay, next plant.
Yes.
Right, because there's so many plants.
There's so much. Sometimes I'll like pick a few before the live, and then at the end of the night, I'm just like surrounded in plants. Like there's like over 60, 70 plants around me.
And you're doing this, guys. Think about this. She's a mother of 2. You have a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old.
Yep.
Okay, she's doing this at 8:30 at night, guys, on a Monday. That's not, are your kids in bed at that time?
Yeah, they're in bed.
Okay.
Usually.
Okay, so at least they're in bed. If not, it'll start at 9 and everyone has to wait.
We'll run it back a little bit. But yeah, 8:30, and then they stay home with dad. So yeah,
so dad comes through.
Yeah.
But what that does too, and what I see is you set up in different areas, it looks like, of the store, because you don't always have the same background.
Right.
And then it allows people to see all the stuff that you showcase that you currently have.
Yes.
So that's something different too, because you can have a website, like you have your shop online. You guys can go on our Instagram page and you can click your shop and everything's there. But let's say it's not updated every day. So what the live is something good, where I've even seen people message her, hey, do you have this plant, while she's live, and she goes and grabs it. Yeah, I do. Hold on, let me bring it. You know, which is cool, because you're mingling with them. You're talking to them back and forth, and there's people that you've now like became cool with, to the point where you're even shouting them out, hey Susie, what's up?
Yes.
You know, and that's so cool as well, because these are, you know, people that are into your own world. They're in the same world as you. They're infatuated with plants in the same way, let's say. Not so much, let's say, open a store, but they love plants. And that's something common that you guys have.
Yep.
Like, I have some of my closest bonds with people are the guys that do what I do.
Oh, yeah.
Or customers that we, you know, where else can you talk to someone else that's trying to do big things in the industry and have great conversation? It's with the people that are around you. So that's something cool. I'm sure you've had conversation with the people where you pick up the phone and you guys talk to each other, and you could talk about funky, cool things or whatever it is that you guys talk about.
Oh, agreed. Yeah,
Right?
definitely.
Great conversation, because
Yeah.
it's something that both of you guys are into.
Exactly.
So that's how that works. And then after the lives go on, you have to ship stuff in boxes, which is what you guys do.
I feel like that's when the real work starts.
That's when the party starts. That's what I call a party.
Yeah, that's when it starts. So normally the lives go for a few hours, so I won't get home till like 12:31. At that point, I start my whole process of getting a hold of everyone and making sure the plants are going to the right places. We have a spare bedroom at home, so sometimes I'll package at home.
Okay.
If not, I'll go to the shop and just package at the shop, and then I make sure everything goes out Tuesday, Wednesdays, and then I'll follow up with everyone. But that's the hard work right there, is probably shipping the plants. I'll do the live, I'll do the knowledge, everything else is easy, but the shipping takes some work.
How did you learn to ship properly?
Watching other people ship on YouTube.
So getting knowledge from there.
Yeah, self-taught. And then also trial and error was a really big one too. I had also some people that gave me some advice. They're like, hey, I buy plants from other places, and they maybe put like they do like a gift paper or something like really soft to kind of protect those leaves. And those are kind of the ways I've been able to do it.
And there's funky things too that you could put, like, or let's say different strategies. You can put like a little 10% off. You can put a thank you card. You can do all those type of things, that the creativity, which that comes with freeing up time, right? If you have free time, then you can keep implementing things like that. Or if you had a staff, I think you have one girl. I see one girl.
Fabiola. Yeah. She's my favorite. She's awesome. Yeah.
So you have one person that works with you there to make it all happen. And like, as you get, let's say you go growing, right? And you're like, okay, I have to invest back into my business. What else can I do? It's the little things that really make a difference.
Oh, yeah.
It truly is. Like, the big things make a difference, but the small things that you wouldn't think of, they impact as well. And those little things go a long way. You know, someone that spent $1,000 with you so far, you give them a 20%, or you send them a free plant. Hey, thank you so much. Happy New Year. Thank you for all the business. Boom. Here's that one plant that you always, you know, loved in the lives.
Yeah. And my favorite thing, actually, now that you say that, it actually rung a bell. I do markets in St. Cloud. So like once a month at the end of the month, I'll go downtown and
like showcase, a farmer's market.
Exactly. Showcase my plants. And I'll have people that sometimes will come in there like, oh, I kill every single plant. I'm like, you're just not picking the right one. And they think I'm lying to them. So I'll give them a little baby plant just to kind of tease them. And I'm like, tell them the care. Come back to me, let me know how it does. They'll come back like a month, 2 months later. I kept the plant alive. I'm so excited. I'm here for another one. So I'm like, awesome. Like, that's the whole point, is to give that confident booster, you know, so that they can keep that plant alive and want to grow more. Yeah,
because that's intimidating too. You might like plants, but have no clue how to keep them alive.
Exactly. And then some of these plants are hundreds of dollars, so you don't want to mess them up, you know?
That, and they're super rare too.
Yeah.
It's like you're sending off a plant that was so hard for you to acquire, that you're attached to. They're like, why did I put this on my life?
Yeah, it's like another baby.
And this person paid $250 for it. Great. I got the $250, but I'm gonna miss the plant. And then to find out that it died.
Yes.
Like, why did I sell that, honey?
Yeah, my favorite are the updates though. That's definitely awesome. When people send those on Instagram or Facebook, I love reposting them, because it's like seeing my babies grow. I love it.
No, but that's good too, because you're interacting with people and you're interacting with that whole world, and that world is massive. World is massive. I'm infatuated with every step of the whole process of the whole green industry, which the green industry is huge, and there's 1,000 different things you could choose from to do. But just that industry of interior plants, from how they grow, like we're at a nursery. When was it? Last Thursday, Wednesday? One of these days. We were at a 120-acre interior nursery, and it's just beautiful. And so we got to experience how, let's say, they grow it. And I know all about it, but I got to take Eddie. And you just see the process from that happening, from them starting from a tissue culture or starting from a baby that they got off another plant, and they're mass producing them. And then people like you have opportunities to grab them, and it's same industry, different niche. And now you can feed your family with it. You can bring more income in, and you can just continue. And then your creativity, you could take it to the moon, because we're in America, so you could do anything you like.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like a blessing. So it's just crazy. And then you're a woman and you have 2 kids and you drove 3 hours to be here. Like, dedication. It really screams. And the passion that you have for it is you have to have that. Because if not, you wouldn't be excited to do it. You'd be like, oh, honey, we got to go on this podcast now.
It'd be a drag. I feel like every day my life is exciting. I'm like, all right, let's go do this. Like, what do I got to do today?
You heard, guys? Her life is exciting. That's what I say. You know why? Because she's passionate about what she does. She's not working. She's having a blast.
Yep. I'm having fun every day.
She's having fun. She walks in her shop. She sees all these beautiful plants. She's like, oh, my God, look at this.
I like the, oh, my God. That's exactly how it goes. Yeah.
Well, because that's one thing we can relate on, the passion behind what we do. And I see it screams. So it's just so interesting, guys. You guys have to go and check out her lives. You got to go on Instagram. It's Sunny Bloom, right?
Sunny Blooms Inc. is on Instagram and Facebook. Yeah. And
you do anything on TikTok, on YouTube?
I haven't dabbled into the TikTok. I feel like I can't keep up with it.
Yeah.
But right now, Instagram and Facebook, and I feel like my hands are pretty full right there.
And so anything that if someone asked you for something, like say special, that's something that you would be willing to try to dive in and find? Or
of course. I have an ongoing special request list.
Oh, you do?
Oh, I do.
So tell us about that, and where can people access?
So I've actually started this since we started the store, and then I kind of just add people's name. It's literally on my phone. It's just a notes on my phone. And as I'm going plant shopping, I just pull my phone out, and if it's something that I see on that list, I'll get it, and then I'll call the person, see if they want it. And
a special request list.
Yep.
You can integrate that on your website too.
I should.
You could.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. There's a lot of things you could do. But it goes back to the time.
He's like, take a note.
Yeah, it goes back to the time.
Yeah,
how much time do you have, and can you free up enough time to do the little things like that make life just easier? But the notes work perfect. And you get most of your stuff in the tropical climate area, right? You come in the South Florida is where most of the stuff is grown, correct?
All through Florida, yeah.
And you're buying from reputable, amazing growers.
I do my research before I buy from anyone.
Because that is very important.
Yes, I always do.
Yeah. So guys, if you guys buy plants from her, it's going to be A+, number 1.
Quality.
And you look at them, you can see them. They're beautiful. They're shiny. What else do you sell at the store? What else can people access besides plant? Do you have any kind of plant care products that you sell?
I do. So I sell plant food.
Okay.
So we go ahead and sell plant food. We do pest sprays as well. I have knickknacks like earrings and things like that. I want everyone that comes into the store to be able to purchase something. You don't have to love plants to get something from there. So I have greeting cards, keychains, kind of a little mix of everything.
A little mix of everything.
T-shirts.
Soil. You sell little bags of soil.
Yep. Got soil too.
So if someone wanted to, let's say, buy a plant and it had a baby, and then they're like, hey, add this pot and add this soil and add some food, you could put all that in a box and ship it to them.
Yeah. I always tell people, that's part of my job. I make it easy for them.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's something you guys can do. If you guys jump on her page and you want to get something, you can always DM her and ask her whatever. And it's her there. She's alive and real, right? Any stories that you would like to say in regards to something that was just wild that you guys overcame throughout the process? Because I know how intimidating it can be to be on social media. Trust me.
Oh yeah.
Okay. And then just breaking through that barrier. And then it gets to the point where it's like, I don't care anymore.
Yeah.
So like breaking through that, going live, not having 2,000 people watch your lives, because I know how intimidating that can be. What's your thought process on that? for someone that, let's say, is trying to jump into, let's say, your shoes or someone's shoes in like that in the green industry? Tell me about that. Anything you can say about that?
I'd say you just have to authentically be yourself. You can't try to put a persona up. You can't try to play something that you're not. If you don't have the knowledge and you haven't put in the work, it's going to be very difficult. So if you're not just being real with yourself, you're going to struggle. But I feel like that's where you just have to be true.
And you could do anything you want. Do you feel like you can?
Yes.
Even being a mother of 2 babies?
Oh, yeah. I feel like that's what drives me. That's what puts that fire inside of me, is seeing those boys.
Yeah. Because there's a lot of, and one thing I love is that you have a husband. So you guys did it right. Congrats.
Thank you.
So like that is something too, where you have, let's say, the stability factor in it, where you have a good relationship and it allows you to have a free, clear mind.
Yeah.
To execute whatever it is you guys want to do.
It is easier that way. It definitely is. And then it's nice having him to lean on. You know, if I have an issue or anything like that, I always run to him no matter what time. It's like having a business partner and a lover, I guess. I don't know. It's nice.
No, it's a partner at the end of the day. And that's really, really strong and very impactful.
How we do our plant swaps as well.
Tell me.
Plant swap, that's fun. So we do those every about 2 months or so. And what that is it opens up my storefront for other people to come in. So you bring any plants that you might want to trade, you don't want anymore, and you can set up a little table and then you can sell your cuttings, you can trade them with other people, and it kind of just opens it up for the plant community in my area.
So it's a free, open environment where anyone can bring anything.
Yep.
And they can, like back in the day, I used to go, I don't know if I should say it.
It's like trading Pokemon.
Pokemon cards, bro.
I used to do that. I had Pokemon
That was
cards.
my era when Pokemon cards were like, if you had a Charizard, you were, or the Mew. If you had the Mew, you were the king. Yeah. So that takes me back to that, where it's just open environment. It's not about money. It's not about anything like that. It's just about building a strong community.
Exactly. And getting together.
And you being, let's say, the forefront that's doing that for the community.
Yeah. Like, okay, so I follow a few pages on Facebook and they're plant pages. So you can go on there and you can kind of post your plants and swap them with other people. It kind of freaks me out ever since I became a mom that they're not like in safe locations. So I'm just like, I want everyone to have a safe place that they can go and trade their plants. So I feel like that's just the mom in me, but it makes it safe.
No, but that's good because it makes you look at it that way.
Yeah.
Other people might not look at it that way.
Yeah.
You probably saved a few lives by just
listen. I've done some funky things for some plants. Okay, I've drove into some woods and I'm like, where the heck am I? But
in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, pretty much like up in Orlando somewhere.
And the hustler mindset is so strong because they came today with a 16-foot trailer?
Oh my gosh, you noticed the trailer?
Of course, I noticed everything. So a 16-foot trailer on the back of an F-150 ready to go and bring product back.
I will add, I do drive that trailer all the time. Yeah? I'm proud of myself.
You back it up? You back it up?
All of it.
Ooh.
Self-taught. I'm proud of myself.
Into a parking spot.
Into like a parallel parking spot.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Very impressive.
Hey, you're doing it and you're having fun doing it and it screams. So the sky's the limit.
Yes.
The sky's the limit. You just keep going, keep innovating everything you do.
Yes.
Everything. Like perfect it and how can I make it better? And if you can't make it better and you can't think about it, so you just leave it off the shelf and the idea might come to you another day. And just try to spend your time wisely. I know you don't have a whole lot of time, but the time you do have, spend it wisely to continue growing, because I know that we all have it in us.
Yeah.
And in 2 years, not knowing nothing about plants to becoming a plant lady, basically, and having all these children in your plant shop, that now you are open that you have a business. It pays the rent. It leaves something for later. Something for the future, and that is just amazing. There's a lot of people that I know would love to be in your shoes and that learned something today on this podcast, whatever it might have been.
Yeah.
But it's something positive for everybody. So guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this podcast. If they need to reach you, they can reach you at Sunny Bloom on
Sunny
Instagram.
Blooms Inc. Yes.
Sunny Blooms Inc. on Instagram. You have a website?
I do have a website, sunnybloomstcloud.com.
Sunny Blooms Saint Cloud ST dot.
Yes.
So it's abbreviated. Saint is ST.com. It's cloud.com.
There you go.
And then you have an email that they can reach you at?
I do, sunnybloomsinc@gmail.com too.
Sunny Blooms Inc. There you go, guys. So anything you guys need, you can reach out to her. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you guys need anything else, you already know what to do. And stay tuned for the next one, because we're going to keep bringing you that fire. All right? God bless. Bye.
Thank Thank you for listening to this edition of The Plant Movement. Willie and Eddie invite you to connect with them on Instagram at both The Plant Movement Podcast and A's Ornamental Nursery. Those links are in the show description. Please leave us a well-worded 5-star review on Apple Podcasts to help others find the show. And remember to tap the follow button so that you'll be notified when the next edition of The Plant Movement is available. This has been a Plant Movement Network and Mr. Producer production.